Michael Brandt is going to talk to us about AI search visibility in 2026. Take it away, Michael.
Hey everyone. So getting found online was already hard. Many of us were trying to figure out SEO, which includes blog posts, keywords, backlinks, Google updates. And just when it felt complicated enough, the whole game changed. Now people aren't just searching on Google, they're asking ChatGPT, they're asking Gemini, they're asking Perplexity and Claude. They're getting summarized answers instead of 10 blue links. To be clear, I'm not saying that SEO is dead, on the contrary, but today I'm going to help you understand how AI has layered on top of it and how we can adapt without chasing 47 new acronyms. So let's start with what's changed. Before AI entered the chat, literally, SEO was already competitive. Markets were saturated, national competitors were ranking locally, paid ads were taking up the top of the page, and Google's algorithm was changing constantly. In other words, search visibility wasn't something that was easy and suddenly got hard, it was already hard. What changed is the interface. Instead of scrolling through links, people are increasingly getting answers summarized for them. And that shift changes how visibility works. Let's look at what that actually means. Google search isn't disappearing, it's fragmenting. People still search, but now they're asking questions in conversational language. Google has layered AI overviews at the top of results, ChatGPT and Gemini are synthesizing answers, and Perplexity is citing sources directly inside of summaries. Instead of choosing from 10 links, users are often accepting one structured answer, which changes the goal. The goal isn't just to rank, but the goal is to be referenced inside of the answer. That shift has already affected traffic patterns across the internet. We're already seeing measurable impact. According to Search Engine Land, which analyzed data from roughly 40,000 US websites, organic traffic has been on the decline 2.5% year over year since AI became mainstream. It's not catastrophic, but it's certainly directional. More dramatically, SimilarWeb reported that news publishers saw approximately a 26% drop in organic traffic after AI overviews began rolling out. Why? Because answers are being surfaced higher in the interface. Attention is moving upward, and when attention shifts, strategy has to shift with it. This doesn't mean visibility is gone, but it means it's being redistributed. And that's where all the new acronyms started showing up. So you've seen SEO, AEO, GEO, SGE, LLM optimization. It sounds like as marketers, we need a new certification every 6 months. But here's the most important part. The fundamentals didn't disappear, they just expanded. We're still talking about clarity, authority, and consistency. What changed is that AI now reads and synthesizes that information before a human ever clicks. So instead of chasing acronyms, we should focus on structure, which is where my model comes in. I'm proud of this model. Within my SOAR visibility framework, I came up with the C.A.R model, or C.A.R. The C stands for clarity. This is your content ecosystem, your website, your blog, YouTube, and your social media. Is it technically structured? Are your headings clear? Is your positioning specific? Can AI clearly understand who you help and what problem you solve? If AI can't define you confidently, it can't recommend you confidently. The A in the C.A.R model stands for authority. This is your reputation layer. So reviews, references, mentions, what we used to call off-site SEO or backlinking. AI systems don't just trust what you say about yourself, they look for patterns of validation across third-party sources. So this is where volume, recency, and consistency all matter. And the R stands for reinforcement. This is being everywhere consistently. So this would be things like your Google business profile, directories, listings, and category precision within those listings. Entity alignment across platforms. All AI models are currently cross-referencing these signals, especially Gemini, which powers Google's AI layer and is increasingly embedded across devices, and of course in Android and Apple phones now. It always prioritizes its own ecosystem first. So this is Google itself and of course YouTube. If your entity data conflicts or is incomplete, confidence drops. But when clarity, authority, and reinforcement align, AI confidence increases. And confidence is what determines whether you get referenced inside an answer. Now there's one additional technical layer on top of this. AI systems don't crawl and interpret content exactly the way traditional search engines did. They rely heavily on structure. So that means structured data, schema markup, FAQ formatting, clean HTML hierarchy, and strong entity definitions on your website. And increasingly, a file called llms.txt. llms.txt is a signal that helps AI systems understand what content is available, structured, and intended for reference. It's not mandatory everywhere, but it's rapidly becoming a best practice. If you're on WordPress and you use a tool like Rank Math, it is now actually built right in. So you shouldn't become a web developer, but you do need to make sure that your content is readable, not just by humans, but by machines that generate answers. Which brings us to the simplest way to test. Who are the top, your niche, consultants in your city? If you're not mentioned, you're not visible in the new interface. Clarity, consistency, and credibility, that's what AI rewards. And if you want to see your score, look for the link in Erica's email.
Thank you so much, Michael. We've got a couple of thoughts in the chat. If anyone else has any questions, please drop them in the chat. So the first question is, when AI summary references a website, are we seeing high click-through rate on them?
Depends if it is transactional intent, like if they want to buy something, or if they're just asking a question. If they're just asking a question, they typically get their answer right there in the AI overview, and there would be no reason to click through. That's why we're seeing lower click-through rate across the board. But if it's like, they're looking to buy something, what's the best dishwasher? That is more likely to be clicked through, and on the usually the first or second option, the overview gives.
Awesome. LLMS.text for Squarespace, question mark. Maybe that's lingo. I don't know what the question is there, but maybe you know what the question is.
I don't work with Squarespace a lot, so I could be wrong about this, but the last time I checked, it was not yet part of it. It is part of Webflow. Webflow has a section where you can actually upload a text file. And of course, any website that's like static, you can upload the text file to the file directory. But I don't know yet for Squarespace, sorry.
Okay. Do you think that AI integration will eventually, maybe even sooner rather than later, override tactical strategies for getting found? I wonder sometimes about how AI integrating into summarizing responses won't just end up being along the same lines as viral social content. Why one dance trend gets popular and the others never make it past the gate.
That's honestly a brave new world right now. Like, I don't know. They're also talking about the ethics of AI, which is supposed to be objective and like trustworthy, rolling out ads. So again, like, I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens. I know across different AI companies, there's been a lot of resignations regarding things like that, and people sort of blowing the whistle or whatever when you alert the authorities to something bad. So I don't know. That is my answer to that question.
I see lots of comments. Love this. PR is super for authority. Wiki is one of the strongest ones AI pulls from in our experience. That's wonderful. Um,
Also, Reddit,
Reddit. Okay.
Wikipedia, and Reddit.
Right. Someone said perhaps we should just stick to SEO or search everywhere optimization as the acronym for everything. Thoughts on the race between the big five AIs in the space?
I think Gemini is leading right now, particularly with their, I think, 10-year contract with Apple. So all smartphones will now be Gemini. I'm personally a fan of ChatGPT. It's the first one I've used. I'm a creature of habit, but I've also heard, particularly in our community, a lot of people singing the praises of Claude.
Hmm.
So, and then of course, Perplexity is the one that is least likely to hallucinate wrong answers.
So all of them.
My preference is ChatGPT, but Gemini is leading the race.
Claude has the best Super Bowl commercial, Aaron says. Great. All right, we have time for one or two more questions. Anybody else? Thoughts on Grok and its truth first methodology?
I don't exist in the world of Grok or Elon Musk, so sorry, can't help you
Okay,
on that one.
that's a hard no. All right, any other questions? Aaron, what is the last one? What are you most concerned about with AI?
I think the ripples it's going to have across society with job losses, all of us needing to be retrained, and the infrastructure for that not yet existing on that scale, I think is scary. But I don't know. I'm riding the wave for now, so let's see.
Love it. All right, thank you so much, Michael. That was super helpful.